Locked and Loaded. It's Sanctuary of Reality, my comic review series. Today we look at Cerebus issue 119, chapter 6 of Jaka's story, concluding subbook 1, Pogrom's Progress. Cerebus settles in as guest of Jaka and Rick, the latter of whom can't stop staring at the former pope. He even gets himself into hot water with his wife by asking Cerebus if he knows how to make a pillar of fire. Pud Withers continues to have fantasy conversations with Jaka, which have been pretty prescient prior. After another night of no tavern patrons for her to dance for, Jaka wonders why her former customers have failed to follow her. She's depressed by this thought, and Pud begins to reach out for her, but she leaves before he can touch her. The next night, Rick gets drunk on a single ale and repeatedly lays on thick the new name he's got for Cerebus, which happens to be Fred. Later, Cerebus happily listens in as Rick and Jaka have a fight in the next room. It's music to his ears. Perhaps Jaka will love him again before long. The next morning's breakfast is silent, save for the noises of munching and utensils on plates. How long will this squabble between the married couple last? In the flashback prose section, we continue to learn about Jaka's recovery from her head injury. Through her 6th and 7th years, she appears to have become dull-witted, quiet, withdrawn, the happy, curious, playful child seemingly erased entirely. Even when it comes to religious attendance or schoolwork, Jaka remains vacant and distant to Nurse and the rest of the world. That is, until one snowy day when she and Nurse pass by the park where magic remains. This opens a door in her head, the beginning of a time of remembrance. Speaking of doors, the one locked door in her familial dwelling, one she always wondered about what contained within, is suddenly discovered to be unlocked one day. Jaka gets a peek inside, discovering an abandoned hall and another door. Slowly, over the years, her memories are returning, and her body is also going through puberty. What changes will the remembering and the biological growth bring about? This subbook, Pogrom's Progress, has been a nice, relaxing bit of character establishment and reiteration. We've gotten to know Rick a little bit, not a gigantic amount yet. We've gotten to get reacquainted with Jaka to the point of actually knowing her really for a change. All while letting Cerebus recover mentally from his ascension and the revelations therein. It is indeed mundane and domestic, but it's done enjoyably, setting things up for later at a leisurely pace. The prose pieces are never intrusive and often juxtaposed perfectly with the main action, or lack thereof. There's a lot of criticism about the series of its use of prose sections, especially in later books such as Latter Days, which is very, very, very prose heavy. Those complaints do indeed have some merit, but you really can't apply the same complaints to their use here. They're all the prose sections are natural, they're organic, and dare I say, they're integral to the story that's being told in the main action. So far, it's a great start to Jaka's story, I think. Next time, things get a little wild as Oscar arrives.